Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead of them and their companies. I'm your host, Olivia Salmons, and in each episode, we'll uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, I'm very excited to be joined by Sam Arnold, the founder of Shape University. Sam will be sharing more about his founding journey and giving us a glimpse into plans for future growth. Sam, welcome to Founders Future. Thank you so much for joining me here today.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you here, and I'm very much excited to dive in and learn a little bit more about your journey. So, Sam, with all of my guests, I do actually like to start at the beginning. So, if you don't mind briefly taking me back to what it was you was doing before you started up Shape University, and then from there, what was the motivation behind it?
Yeah, so going way back, I went to University of Pittsburgh for exercise science. I graduated in 2010. Thought I was going to be going to physical therapy school. Ended up doing personal training, and I love training. I didn't think it was going to be the route that I would go into career-wise, but it's been my passion and something that I really enjoy getting to work with the people that I do work with. So from there, I had met some of my friends, my current business partners, who we got together and started Shape Training in 2014. And so Shape Training is a brick-and-mortar training facility in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We've hired coaches, developed coaches for the past 10 plus years. And so we've been doing this type of work, what Shape University does, for a decade now. Now we're just offering it externally. And so all of the mentorship, the all of the nuts and bolts, the things that you don't get from your collegiate education, from your training certification, that we're trying to fill those gaps.
Beautiful stuff. So, as you say, you've been doing it in person now for an extended amount of time, and it's just relaying that information online to help everyone else that you can. I myself actually studied the same thing at university, sports exercise and development science,
Okay.
and I know exactly what you're talking about in the sense of the mentorship becomes, especially leaning into personal training or anything in the fitness space. You're unaware of the business side of things. So even as you say, you've got that experience of owning a brick and mortar actual physical gym, and then even they're translating that into the online world. I'm assuming part of that comes into play when you're helping personal trainers develop as well. Is that more the business mindset they have to be taking as well as the training approach?
100%. You can get a certification in a few days, a
Yeah.
month. So it doesn't take very long. And even if you did go to school for a full 4-year degree or plus, there are so many aspects that are not covered in just communicating with people, with all types of individuals, whether they're good, they're bad, they're down, they're left, they're right. All of those pieces, in addition to marketing, selling, programming, the having that business mindset, just having a mindset of working with people who maybe aren't as motivated as you are to get to the gym each day.
Yeah, that is just to touch on what you said. That was one of the reasons I didn't dive into personal training because it was so hard to, as you say, motivate somebody that doesn't necessarily want to be there as much as you are, isn't in love with working out as much as you. So it is that like, how do you combat all of that and then still build something nice for yourself in a field you enjoy, much like you've done for yourself?
Yeah.
So let's dive into that aspect a little bit more. So when it does come to Shape University, at this point in, Sam, who would you say is your ideal client? Who is it that you very much love to work with the most? And then from there, how would you help them and how would you support them along their own journey?
That's a very good question. I think that the people that I've enjoyed working with the most have honestly been people who have been well down a career path for years and learned a lot in that particular area, but then are, okay, what's out there? What can be a little bit more fulfilling for me? I enjoy training. I enjoy all of these benefits that I get from it. I'm a little bit tired of where I'm at right now. And so I'm like reinvigorated to share this joy, this passion that I feel about improving my health through strength training with someone else. So it's a lot of these like career change type individuals.
Yeah, beautiful stuff. Someone's, as you say, they're ready to take the next step for themselves and really build something meaningful and have that
Mhm.
impact that I suppose most people are looking for within their lives as well. So I suppose, Sam, like, what is your approach or your style when you are working with your clients? How is it you help them get to that next level or where they're looking to be?
Yeah, I think there's so much information out there that at the end of the day, you don't really need someone like me to tell you how to program, how to do this, that, and the other. There's ChatGPT, there's Claude, there's AI these days, where I think having a mentor, having someone in your corner is to like one, help you get past your like imposter syndrome, your feeling of self-doubt that like you don't belong in the arena. And then helping you remember that there are a lot of people who need someone exactly like you.
Yeah.
right? We can find the programming, we can do the work out there. But a lot of times when people look for a personal trainer, they're looking for that personal connection. And so it's like believing in yourself that you can do it. Obviously, then having a structure, I think that helps you streamline it so it doesn't take you months, years to get to this point, to make all these same mistakes that I've made over the years. So that it's a little bit more streamlined for you when you get into the business.
Yeah, 100%. As you say, like relating it back to a personal trainer is a beautiful aspect because, again, one of the reasons why you take that is part of the motivation behind it, the mentorship. You can lean on somebody when you have questions and just applying that to the same aspect of the business side of things. So I take
Yeah.
it you're very much like in the trenches there when they need you. And then from there, you build that honest relationship as well with the people you're working with.
Yeah, so I still train people in person.
Cool.
Like I had a session this morning. It's so I get the chances to still like practice what I'm preaching, but yeah, but then also like regularly checking in. We go through anybody that's working directly with me, a mentorship type situation, is doing the work themselves, and then we meet bi-weekly via
Nice.
Zoom. So we have direct phone calls. They can chat and send me messages if there's anything that they really need help with, like in between. But yeah, we problem solve for
So,
what they're going through and get a better understanding of not just the X's and O's in a textbook, but okay, now we're putting this into play. What challenges are you coming across and how can we work through those?
yeah, I love it. And it is that, as you say, once you get out of the textbook and into the practical world, it is those nuances that will pop up. So, as you say, having a mentor there to help you navigate and go through challenges you might have faced when you were starting out, it's exactly the same process. So, it's really
Um,
cool. Now,
yeah.
Sam, one thing I am very curious to find out, because naturally, especially within the fitness world at the moment, it's a very noisy space to be. So, like,
Mhm.
how do you go about acquiring your customers or, like, in terms of marketing, just getting your name heard? Like, what channels or methods are you really finding most effective at the moment?
So I think very much it's similar to personal training. I think that it's a referral business, it's a word of mouth business. So obviously, I think the best quality of leads, the best people that you can connect with are people that have a connection with you already. So I do have, I would say that the majority of my folks are coming in from Pittsburgh to start. I'm just gonna let my dog out real quick.
Yeah, you're good. Go, go,
No, no, no.
go.
Get out there. Sorry, I can hear her like clicking at the door.
You're good.
Um,
It's a privilege of working
um,
from home. You get to have the pets around at the same
yes,
time.
100%.
Yeah, awesome
Um,
stuff. So yeah, was leaning, obviously you're saying about the referrals and word of mouth. It is a great way to build connections and obviously taking that from there. Were there anything else you're adding on top of that in terms of like social media, any platforms you prefer or you're finding a lot of success on at the moment?
Yeah, so for me, yes, I said like word of mouth is like always king. And then I lean largely into Instagram, and then I'm working on building the contact list to then have nurturing emails and all of that kind of skill set as well. So I would say the majority of people that I end up in contact with are from Instagram. And it's been nice because we've been able to expand a little bit beyond our walls here just in Pittsburgh. So we have some folks that are working with us from DC, Chicago. So it's nice to have a little bit of reach.
Yeah. And that's the great thing about the modern world, as you say, like just a platform like Instagram is a great way to meet people outside of your ecosystem and even for you outside of, is it Pennsylvania? And then onto that
Yeah,
Philadelphia and then onto that next one. My US states are a little bit all over the place, so I do apologize.
all
Um,
good.
but yeah,
Whereabouts are
and
you
then
from?
I'm from London, so just outside London.
Okay.
Yeah, cool stuff. But yeah, so in terms of Instagram, is it just very organic with what you're putting out there, obviously educational based, or do you run any form of advertisements just to increase that ecosystem a little bit more?
Yeah, so I would say the last few months have been the first time that for me personally, we've done advertisements for our business, but
Yeah.
for the education side of things, the last few months have been the first time that I've gone beyond the organic
No.
content. And it's been very helpful just to have a similar thing. Like just know, be very structured on how I'm putting my ad together so that it is engaging, and
Nice.
then having some automation set up so that I'm not missing anybody that's coming to my page and making sure like the combination of the paid ad where someone's coming because they're seeing me, and then when they do get to my page that they actually find something worthwhile.
Yeah, cool. And that is so important. Even as you're saying you're thinking about adding on or getting obviously the email information as well, so you can start that nurturing sequence. It's so
Yeah.
key that you are just staying top of mind because naturally you might not be a right fit for everybody, especially when you are like running ads. It's just nice to keep on top of that. And as you say, give them some information at the end of it, so at least they know who you are and they can pay attention on that side of things. And Sam,
Mhm.
I know obviously you have the brick and mortar and we've got the online stuff going on, but do you have a team there helping out with anything at all? Or are you pretty much a solopreneur trying to juggle all the hats amongst yourself?
I would say we're in between. We solopreneur juggling because we still obviously have I
Yeah,
have my responsibilities within the shape training within our brick and mortar space. So building this is a little bit of a side mission, a side quest, if you'd say. So I do have one individual who helps just with some content creation, just some video editing and things like that. And then
nice.
I'm fortunate too that I have some connections through our existing business with like photography and videography and some of those things that I do get a little bit of assistance with. It's a nice perk.
Yeah, it is. And because they can take up a lot of time, those kind of jobs when you're editing, creating content. It's such a big hat now for most founders to wear. So it's nice that you can lean on a team that you trust, as you say, getting that side quest up and running. And then you
Yeah,
hopefully you can be flying with them both, taking it from there.
percent.
And with all that being said as well, Sam, like what are your visions or your ambitions for the company moving forward? When you maybe think of the next 6 to 12 months, what are those goals or those milestones that you're hopefully looking forward to achieving?
Yeah, so right now I've got a few different offerings. A few of them, a couple of them are just like hands off. It's really just like a do it on your own type study support for the NASM CPT. I also have an offering called the Principled Programming, which is just a do it yourself self-educated program design course. And then I do one-on-one mentorship, and that's a 6 month mentorship. The goal for me for the over the next 6 to 12 months is to get a couple more one-on-one mentees, and then also to start a small group. All right, I'd like to start a little bit more of the community building aspect. Just give it a maybe like a someone who's not quite ready for the full one-on-one aspect can still be part of the community and can still lean on other like-minded individuals to improve their status and their situation at the moment.
Yeah, I love that. I love the idea of a group when it or a community when it's a come to most offers because as you say there, they might not be ready for that intense one-to-one mentorship, but they
Mhm.
get an idea of what it's like to work with you and then yeah, hopefully build their own connections and relationships along the way with, as you say, just a group of like-minded key people doing something very similar. It's nice to have that tribal union as well as part of the company. And
Yeah.
where are you probably finding the biggest challenge for yourself at the moment in, I suppose, taking those next steps or even within the day-to-day runnings of the business?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge would likely be, like you just said, like trying to do to keep up with all of the things, all at once. Prioritizing what really matters and maybe saying, okay, the things that I maybe enjoy that don't give me a lot in return can wait. I think that's
Yeah.
probably the biggest challenge at the moment is just prioritizing the things that maybe I don't enjoy as much, but really get me a lot more return.
I feel like most founders have that battle, and naturally, like time is an essence for everybody. With only 24 hours in a day, if you have, as you say, your responsibilities in the other place, and then setting up a side hustle is it's not easy balancing the two. Plus, you got your personal life added on top of that. Yeah, I
Mhm.
get it's just putting your efforts where they're best matched, and taking it from there.
Yeah,
And Sam, I have one last question to ask you before we log out. So,
sure.
if you could go back in time to a younger self, and you could only leave yourself with one piece of advice moving forward, something you
Hmm.
know now, but that you didn't know back then, what would you say to yourself?
If I could go back and talk to a younger version of me, I would say be more to give more freely. I think to don't worry about withholding any information. Don't worry about like intellectual property. Like it always comes back. The more you give, the better you are. And, like more people appreciate there's more reciprocity. It's just it. There's never been a situation where I've felt like I've been burned by giving too much.
Yeah. I love that. And that's such a nice way to end the podcast. I think it's a great bit of advice there. Sam, thank you so much for joining me today and for sharing your incredible journey and insight with us. Where can our listeners reach out best to work with you or connect with you if they would like to do so?
Yeah, so on Instagram, you can follow me as at the trainer mentor. And then our website is www.shapetrain.com. If you want to email me, you can email me at sam@coachsamarnold.com or sam at, yeah, that's right. I Can't remember.
at coachsamarnold.com.
That's right. Yeah.
Beautiful. And Sam, thank you again for joining me. I really appreciate your time today. And
Yeah.
to our listeners, if you enjoyed today's episode, please be sure to go and check out Sam Arnold. As you just said, drop him a message on Instagram, drop in an email, check out the website. I'm sure he would love to hear from everybody. And do not
Absolutely.
forget to subscribe to Founders Future via wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And if you are a business owner, specifically a coach, consultant, or agency owner, and you're really looking to scale your business and you want to enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to hop on a call with one of our team and discover how we went from $0 to $30 million per year in less than 3 years. But until then, keep on climbing and we'll see you on the next one.